Bish, did you know mosquitoes had a huge impact on the transatlantic slave trade? When we talk about this, we often think about greed, power, and human suffering. But there was another force behind it all, a tiny, buzzing, deadly one: malaria. Yes, the same mosquito borne disease that still kills hundreds of thousands today once shaped entire economies. It helped decide who lived, who died, and who was enslaved. In the 1600s, Europeans arriving in the Americas faced a deadly problem. Malaria and yellow fever thrived in the warm, swampy lands of the Americas, and Europeans had no resistance. Then they died in mass numbers. But African people, from regions where malaria was common, had something Europeans absolutely did not: partial immunity. Generations of exposure in Africa meant many carried genetic traits, like the sickle cell trait, that offered some protection, and this tragic advantage turned human lives into a solution for colonial greed. This so called immunity became part of the justification for the brutal slave trade. Over 12 million Africans were kidnapped and enslaved between the 1500s and the 1800s, and malaria wasn't just background noise. It shaped where Europeans settled, which colonies thrived, and even who won or lost wars. British and French forces lost tens of thousands of soldiers to tropical diseases, while enslaved Africans, forced to endure the same climate, kept those colonial economies running. In the American South, enslaved Africans from West Africa brought with them deep knowledge of rice cultivation, a crop that thrived in wet, mosquito-rich environments. Those plantations turned swamps into rice fields, feeding a global economy and fueling the spread of malaria. Ironically, the very conditions that made plantation owners rich made their lands deadly for anyone without resistance to the disease. So, when we trace the roots of slavery in the Americas, we also trace the path of the mosquito. Malaria didn't just kill, it changed who was forced to live and labor under bondage. A disease helped build the architecture of racism and of empire. And even today, as malaria still devastates parts of Africa, its shadow lingers, a reminder that history is often shaped by forces we just can't see, buzzing quietly in the dark. So, place a mosquito emoji if you made it this far, and place your thoughts on future topics in the comments. This one actually came from a friend of mine. And as always, this is your bitch, Javon Aviance. Follow me for more facts, history, food, and word trivia.